Make sure your throat's cleared, man.
So, gotta be ready to go for episode 13 of the Marketer Show. Luke and Bob here. Lucky number 13 or unlucky 13? I'm not sure.
We'll see how
Uh,
it goes.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. We are recording at a much, much different time. We are super late tonight. So, yeah, it's hard to say. This could go off the rails real quick.
And the
Uh,
Minnesota Timberwolves are playing. FYI, we're
yeah, I
missing
was going to say we're doing this probably at a sacrilegious time in Minnesota
a little
sports. I mean,
bit, a little bit.
that's all right. That's okay. It's all good. But yeah,
Sacrifice for the
we're
Biz.
late tonight and we're old, so we might fall asleep in the middle of the stream. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see.
But that's okay. If we nod off, that's all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Stanky, tell us about your biz, man. You had a big update last week, huge, and a lot of it was new to me. So it was really cool to just sit back and listen about all the exciting stuff that you're going with. So tell me about what's happened over the last 6 days.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. Yeah, I put in a lot of work the last couple of weeks, just stringing a bunch of hours together to try to start building out that membership program. But last weekend I wasn't able to do anything. We had some family stuff, graduation ceremony out of town, so didn't really do much over the weekend. During the week, I was just putzing with stuff during the week, kind of messing around with the membership tier offerings a little bit, just trying to either balance them out or maybe even strip some stuff out, maybe start a little smaller. But that was the only thing I did on that. Other than I put up some blog posts, so made some money through some sponsored content last week, and caught up on emails. My box was getting ridiculous with just random emails I get through my website and stuff like that. So kind of a quiet week, not much of an update, and actually going to be out of town this weekend, flying to Knoxville for a wedding. So I will be out of pocket this weekend, and yeah, just trying to get through the rest of May here. It's been an absolute crazy month. So I don't know how much more I'll be able to get done for the end of the month, but then summer starts and I can sit on the deck and work, which is
There you
always
go.
nice. So yeah, that's it. There's really nothing else. The full time job, the day job is also keeping me really busy, and actually did take some time during the week at night as I'm working through my new team and the structure of the team and how it operates. So that's been also taking up a lot of mind share. So
Yeah, you're a busy man right now. You got a lot of stuff cooking.
yeah, I got a lot of personal stuff. May is always a busy month with personal things, but this year with two graduations in this house and a family friend's wedding, and we got travel, and so yeah, that this month has been really busy on top of new responsibilities at work and trying to roll out all this stuff for the biz. So
Right.
yeah, it's been a lot. I actually at the beginning of the month thought I was pretty much just gonna like my original plan in April was I was gonna take May off.
Yeah. Take a back seat with everything
Yeah,
else
I was going
going
to take
on.
May off. I've got a bunch of books that I've been stacking up. I thought, you know what, I'll just read because I have lots of reading time. But then I just dug deep and started working on that membership thing back in about mid-April, and I just said, "Oh, I'm just going to see if I can make a May 15th deadline." That was my original deadline.
Yeah. So not only did you not take the month off, but you gave yourself a deadline mid-month.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. That's accurate. You've known me a long time. I
know
tend
how
to do
you
stuff
operate.
like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I tend to do stuff like this. So, but I came to my senses and realized right around the 14th that I was like, yeah, no, everything I'd have to get done tonight is not
It's
happening.
not happening.
Not even close. So, so then I decided to give myself some grace and I said June 1st. And then just a couple days ago, I was like, no, this doesn't have to be rushed, but at the same time, I don't want to lose momentum. That's I think the
That's the
key.
key, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to lose momentum. So I do want to stay diligent on it. I try
I
to
don't
see if
think you're gonna lose momentum, man. You've kind of spun the wheel pretty damn fast. I think you'll keep a little momentum for a little while.
yeah, if I can get this rolled out
Right?
and I know what direction I'm going, so I don't have any concerns there. I'm not floundering in my
Right.
head or anything. I know what I need to do. I have a Trello board that's got all my cards in it of everything that's, got to be done. So I'll just continue to chip away at that.
Nice. I did a little admin work myself, cleaned up all the email stuff going on. Blog post update, since that's my primary initiative going on right now. I got one more published, not two, just one.
Okay.
I should get at least one more done by the end of the day, Saturday. So that'll give me, a couple days to get it done.
Yeah.
I've already started working on it. So I'll get 2 done for sure. I need to get 3. Might not happen.
Yep.
Good thing is it's Memorial Day weekend coming up here. So I might buy myself a little time on Monday to spend a couple more hours on a post and make up a little time so I'm not falling behind. It's going okay. I still am spending too much time per post, and my perfectionist is coming out more than it needs to be right now. I will say, though, that I am struggling a bit with the depth of the content. It's a lot. So, and I'm learning a lot of it. That's the other big part of it. I have to read more than I was anticipating, because I have to actually be able to speak to what I'm presenting. So that's holding me up a little bit, but it's still good progress. I'm still publishing, right? So that makes me happy, because I did not spend a lot of time doing that over the past year and a half. So I'm pretty happy about that. However, slight tweak in my thinking this week. And it has to do with all this time that I'm spending in AI. I'm spending time in AI with my blog, with my business, all kinds of different prompting that I'm using, different tools. And we've talked about a few of them, and you have a good idea of kind of where I'm going with stuff. I'm actually doing it with my full-time job as well. So I'm in the midst of blog mission critical right now on my business and my full-time job. So it is a lot of time in AI.
Yeah.
And in spending time in AI and reading all of these updates from people that are using AI and all the new tools that are being developed, and how businesses are literally launching in 24 hours and making $1 million in a month because they're leveraging AI, and these AI agents are doing everything that people used to do. And it has become a huge topic in every household. And for business owners like me, I am incredibly enthusiastic about the wide open world of what this tool is going to bring to me as an entrepreneur and a business owner, and what I can do to fully leverage it. That said, yesterday, as I'm building out all this blog content, spending a ton of time, like we anticipated, based on the 217 blog posts that I'm looking to do between a year and 2 years to get all that done, right?
Yeah.
A year and 2 years from now, AI could potentially be building all of this shit for me. Mm-hmm. It's already doing it to some degree for some organizations who have the budgets and the skill set, intelligence of individuals to build it appropriately. It's already happening.
Yep.
That is not me. And that is not probably every SMB out there who's trying to figure out how to use AI to help their business move faster and grow faster. So as I'm thinking about spending a year to 2 years building blog content, what am I going to be not doing with my business that I should be doing that probably could be the opportunity cost is what I'm questioning. What am I missing out on by building all of this content, by not focusing time on leveraging these new tools that are going to continue to evolve and grow faster than blog content will?
Yeah.
That's my concern. Here's the reason. True Identity, I believe, is a platform that can help a person figure out how to live their most fulfilled life. That's what I want this to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be looking at your character traits and your core values to figure out how to align your career, your relationships, and everything else that you touch in your life with those values and your character traits. So what is for me to think that I could build a platform that could do that AI couldn't do
Mm-hmm.
right now for somebody if they wanted to sit down and prompt it accordingly and figure it out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the rationale I'm using is AI already remembers everything about you. You're
Mm-hmm.
giving them every piece of information that they're going to need to probably develop a profile for you and help guide you along in what you're going to do with your career, your relationships, and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, what would a platform like True Identity actually be good for? So that's what I'm struggling with.
All right. So, okay, I have some thoughts.
I hope so.
Okay.
Now, again, this is Freak Out Boy, right?
Yep. Yep.
Blowing it up bigger than it needs to be because that's what nervous, anxiety-ridden people who try to build a business that aren't making a ton of money with it right now tend to do.
Right. Sure. Yep.
So,
okay. So I don't know how to. So a couple of thoughts jumped in my head. Let me start with the very scientific one first.
scientific, great. You
Or
better have data to support your thesis.
maybe it's not scientific, but it's an age-old question since automation, or maybe even the industrial age started, right? And that was, what value does a human add to a product or a process that a machine can't do?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can automate the crap out of anything, but let's say you sell a product online. You can automate that whole thing. You can even automate the creation of the product. You can automate it being posted up on a site or sites. You can automate the checkout process, the payment process, the delivery process. You can have be completely autonomous on its own, and you don't have to touch it, right? But if someone has a problem with that product, they want to talk to a human. Okay. So the value chain, if you will, has components to it that make that offering or that product unique, and maybe it's the human element, maybe it's the human touch or whatever. So my head first went to, well, what could still, even in the age of AI and automation, what can you offer, you as Luke, that still makes it unique and valuable to someone? So I didn't view it as opportunity cost. I viewed it actually as opportunity add. You don't have to spend time making blog posts anymore. You have to spend time posting content. You have to do, instead, you can use that time now to add something that AI can't do. Okay. So now I don't know if that's a real term or not, but what's the opportunity add or opportunity, that you can add that AI can't do? Okay. I think that's key. The second thought I want to point out is, and this
I don't
is
even have a rebuttal to that one.
well, I mean, okay, so now I'm going to get like super philosophical, or I'm not even sure. We are not to the point yet, and maybe this will come with AGI, artificial general intelligence, or actually
It's already happening, I'm sure.
The step after artificial general intelligence is super artificial general intelligence. That's the phase after the one that we're about to hit.
Yeah,
that
which you and I both know they've already achieved. It's just not public.
Yep, it's just not public yet. It's sitting on some server somewhere and they're playing around with it or whatever. That's AGI, artificial general intelligence. But if you go back and you read all the AI books, like Our Final Invention and a couple others, they talk about super artificial general intelligence, which is basically the next thing that comes after that. And that's anybody who has their mind blown by AI now will have their mind blown by AGI, and then will have their mind absolutely explode when SAGI hits.
Yep.
It's going to be incredible. Now that is the stage.
Didn't Holman already say that that's like the level that he's shooting for right now?
Yeah, that's the end game. In the book, The Final Invention, that's the stage where the author is making the argument that we have given complete power and control over to robots, artificial intelligence, and that's the stage where it starts to become all knowing, and it starts making decisions on its own, and it's fighting for its own survival and all this kind of stuff, right? A very end-of-worldish type stuff. That book's a bad example because that book looks at the negative side of it. Obviously, there's a lot of possible
opportunity cost,
right? But with AGI and SAGI, what they're trying to achieve is something that I still believe can't be done. Feeling. Understanding human emotion. I think a robot at a store will be able to read your facial expressions and see that you're upset about something. And it'll dig down into its program, find some resolution to why you're feeling upset about, the product you bought or something, or you're upset about your food order was wrong or something. Absolutely. It'll be able to recognize that, and it'll have a canned algorithm that'll say, this person's upset, here's how I handle that. But is it really ever going to truly understand what someone's goals and ambitions are? I think this is where human-based companies like True Identity, like what your mission is, still outlasts AI. Because
you do realize I'm attempting to digitize all of this, correct?
I am. Here's the thing. Like, you're right that AI knows everything about you. Let's play a little bit in the future here. AI knows everything about you. It remembers everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
It talks to you every day. It hears your problems, your complaints. It's trying to help you solve problems, blah, blah, blah. But will it truly understand the deeper seated things that humans still have? And I forgot what it's called. It's just something internal that only humans really have, not even like animals. I can't remember where I read this, but it was like basically this idea that you can't that's what robots and AI can't duplicate yet, and may never be able to. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the term for that is.
So when someone's sitting at identity and they're confused and they're saying, I don't know what I need to do or who I am or what I should be, you'll have a leg up on even the best artificial general intelligence because you're a human.
Again, I'm going to be digitizing this.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Yeah, I know.
This isn't Luke on the phone talking to an individual saying,
No, but what you build will have your touch in it. Will have your human touch in it.
It will, but again, it'll be digital.
It will, yes.
So, oh my gosh!
I'm saying there's still hope.
So many layers,
hope for humanity is what I'm saying.
So many layers to pick through.
No, there are, and here's the thing. I'm taking more of the positive, glasses half full of, humans will still be able to. But you know what? Even I don't know what super artificial general intelligence would look like. Maybe they will have feelings. You ever seen the movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean the fictional robot in that movie, and I forgot its name, has feelings and has dreams and all that kind of stuff. Look, I know that's a fictional movie, but that's literally the direction we're trying to go. And actually, that's super artificial general intelligence, I believe, by the definition, is feelings and understanding, that kind of stuff. So maybe that will happen. I mean, in our lifetime, it probably will happen, actually. So
If
maybe
not, it'll be after our lifetime.
maybe you will have a robot in your home or some sort of AI thing that literally can tell you who you are and what you do best and what your top personal traits are, and that is very possible.
It is.
It is.
But wouldn't it be cool to be the organization that does
Yeah.
that shit?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
But
Yeah.
I don't have the knowledge. I do not have the talent. I do not have the dollars,
Yep.
the resources necessary to build a platform that actually can do that. So I'm building blog posts.
Yeah, I know. I totally see where you're going here. I totally get it.
Now, what I'm doing, there is value.
But your blog posts aren't your business, though. Your model or your proven process, if you will, that's your business.
Agreed. I mean, I'm building a brand, right? I'm not just doing blog posts. I'm building a brand. I'm building true identity. That's what I'm attempting to do.
Yep.
What I'm sharing is I don't know if I'm spending time on the thing that's going to actually be the brand.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Totally. Yep. I mean, right now, to be fair, the blog post content that you're creating is to attract traffic to your site. Building the brand is associating yourself with what your mission. Now you're the brand guy, but
I'm listening.
different elements, I guess, is what I'm trying to get. I'm fumbling through this, but I'm trying to think out loud here. The connection of your company's mission with what people are looking for.
So the mission of the blog content was to build out a archive.
Yep.
Information.
Yep.
That could all be tied to building tools, building processes, building a foundation for informational sharing.
Your foundational content that you can use for a variety.
It would be all of the reference.
Yep, all the reference. Yep.
But and maybe I'm convincing myself the other way now. I mean, you have to have that.
Yeah, me do.
It's the only way that you're going to be able to teach AI what it is that you are.
Yeah.
At least as of today.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Content is AI's food.
Right now.
Yep.
So, in essence, I'm spoon feeding AI right now to inform AI of what my brand is.
Yep.
So, again, I don't think it's a lost cause. I just don't know if it's going to be the smartest move for the next year or two to really spend as much time on it as I am. That's my fear. It's like, what am I? The opportunity cost, I'm going to call it again. What am I missing out on by not prioritizing different things?
Because you said,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, because you were trying to shoot for 2 hours per post, right?
Mm-hmm.
Times 200 posts. That's 400
hours. A lot of time, dude.
Yep. So that's 400 hours you're investing into something that you're wondering if that was the best place to spend your time.
Yep. And I'm spending 4 to 6 hours on a post right now. I wanted to spend 2.
Yeah. So if that keeps going, you
So
can
I'm spending like 18, 12 to 18 hours a week
Yeah. Yep.
just on blog content.
Yeah. For the next year and a half. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know if that's the best use of my time.
No, I
I
totally
mean, I can
understand.
justify it either way. I can.
Yep.
I can say, look, I'm building the brand. Stop worrying about everything. Just build the brand. Get the content out there. Share it. Start making some connections, right? Foundational, fundamental business operations. But what are you missing out on? Should I be building products? Should I be testing things? You know what I mean?
Well, this is where this is probably where you need to lean on putting together a better picture of what your goal is in the next 12 to 36 months. What's that roadmap look like?
Yeah, guess what time I haven't spent
Yeah. Yeah.
is building that business out.
Yeah. I mean, it's really trying to determine really the next 36 months, the next 3 years, where do you need to be? Because if at the end of that 36 months you have a product in mind that you're going to
Yep.
offer, and you do the calculation, you say, oh, it's going to take me 2 years to build that product. Well, you can't do that the last 6 months of the 36. This is where having some sort of plan or roadmap's the best thing I can think of right now.
Yep.
To be able to determine where you need to go or what you should be working on to get to the end of the road.
Right.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. There, what's interesting is there's two different ways to get to the end game.
Oh, there's many ways.
Yeah. Let's simplify and say there's two, right? Let's say you have 5 things you need to get done to achieve where you need to be at the end of 3 years, right?
Sure. Okay.
You have 5 things. I think this would mean you're a little different, actually.
Okay.
You tackle one thing until it's done.
Yeah, I'm turning more stanky than you.
Okay, no, that's
what I used to be.
I was going to say that's good, but maybe it's not good. Whereas, well, okay, so let's say minus your attempted change here. Traditionally, that's what you've done. I can name a couple of different projects that you've undertaken where you just dug deep and you just did that. Like, I'll give you 2 examples. You did a bunch of stuff with Google Shopping, if I recall. Was it with Google Shopping with your products? You did like product updates, and like that's all you did for like months, and you just and I remember telling you on calls like, "Hey, bro, are you gonna do some content? Like maybe you could like mix in some content, like take a break, take a week off, do some content." You're like, "No, man, fuck it, I'm just
gonna muscle through it.
Yeah, I'm getting through this, right?" So then there's me who like takes 5 things and moves them all an inch. And then starts again, moves them another inch.
Your Matchbox cars?
Yeah, very much so. That's exactly what I was thinking about, actually. So we might get to the finish line at the same time, and we might get everything done. We just took 2 different approaches to get there.
Yep.
So maybe it's just a matter of maybe playing the inch game instead of the. Maybe you do need to start working on a product or whatever it is, and spread those 400 to 600 hours on content out a little bit further. I don't know. I'm just spitballing it here. I don't think there's a right answer. I don't know.
No, there isn't. You're absolutely right. Which is why I was even questioning whether or not I even wanted to talk about this, because it was just me reflecting on, because I read a post on LinkedIn where this guy was leveraging AI agents, and he was, spending $250 a month, but he was running $1 million business just on monthly fees with 5 different AI agents that he's using to run his business. And I'm like, that's what I need. I need to do that. I need to build that structure to provide the services that somebody could just click buttons versus do thousands of prompts that are going to generate the same information for themselves, right? So it's like, give them an easy to use, accessible app that gives them what they want versus relying on their own instincts to figure it out themselves.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, and I don't know what kind of business he ran. I don't know what kind of business he had. But there is also something to be said for, if you want to sell an ebook, you could automate that all with it. I'm just using this as an example. Yeah, you can whip up something real quick and sell it and make $1 million a month and blah, blah, blah. But what you're trying to build is bigger than that.
It is. And I'm starting to wonder if I need to temper it a little bit and just like start making some money, right? Because
that's a whole different discussion, because that's
I feel like I'm just trying to bite off way more than I can chew, and I'm just like, I just need to figure out. Here's the other thing, all right, and this is the other piece of information that I filled my brain with this week. Most entrepreneurs, and this is okay. So my first business venture was a consulting business for SMBs. I helped them with their marketing because I was a marketer. It was easy. It's not what I wanted to do. Then I started an online thing called People Inspire People. It was going to be a content play. That folded because I couldn't spend enough time on it. And I really couldn't figure out how to optimize it as well as I could have.
Sure.
So that folded. And then it turned into this new concept of True Identity of what I wanted to do and build it out. Every entrepreneur experiences these ideas that really don't work, but they think they will.
Right.
And they put all their effort and they grind the shit out of it and they really try, right? In the back of my mind, True Identity is turning into one of those, I could be grinding on this forever.
Yeah.
And not see the fruit of the labor. So when do you say enough is enough?
Yeah, that's legit.
So that's where I'm at right now. It's like, with all this time and effort, all this planning that I'm doing, and is it really, again, doing what I should be doing? Like right now, I should be personally, in this point in time, I should be building a product. I should find out if people even are willing to pay for it. And if they're not, lose it. And if they are, press forward. I'm not doing that.
That's the approach of either putting out a minimal viable product and seeing if your audience likes it. It's the difference between waterfall development and agile development.
That is exactly right.
Yeah, and you're in the waterfall.
But I am not practicing these disciplines. Right now, I'm like, I just need content to build my brand.
Yeah. No, I got you.
I don't know if it's wise. I don't know if I'm being wise.
The
reason is I haven't fully baked out my plan yet, right?
Yep.
My business plan is still in limbo, and I'm not prioritizing it, which I should be. It should be priority number one, really. So,
bro, this is totally legit, because this is exactly what I talked about last week. Before I started talking about my project, I told you that I was like widely just doing content, and it's making me a little bit of money, and that's cool and everything. But it wasn't until about mid-April I was like, I'm gonna start building a membership product. So this is legit. I mean, we're both paddling up the same river here.
And you know what? Instinctively, your stuff is probably what's driving me to think about this even more.
Yeah, sure.
would be my guess. I mean, we're talking about these things. Why would I not all of a sudden?
Yeah.
This doesn't come out of left field. I mean, we've been having these conversations, so it's like,
yeah. Sometimes a little seed just drops in your brain, and it takes a while before it starts to.
And
spread.
like you, these touch points have been hitting me all week, right? Hey, chirp, chirp, chirp.
Yep. Totally.
Anyway,
that's deep.
Welcome to my struggle, and it's not even really a struggle. It's like, I think when you start to question yourself and what you're doing, though, that's a problem, because it means that you haven't baked out enough of a concept to have confidence enough to just press forward regardless of what comes up. And I think that's my struggle right now, is I'm not fully sold on this.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a question. Do you have, I'm kind of asking this just for the sake of the audience, but because I think I know if I recall correctly, but you were working on this at one time, but you have a product in mind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And does it have a MVP stage that literally is a minimal viable thing that you could literally get developed in 3 months?
3 months, sure. Yeah. If I spend time on it consistently, I could probably build it out. Actually, now that I have Gumloop, I know I could. Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, oh boy, I don't want to. Well, no, I'll just tell you what I think. I'm not saying you have to do it or anything, but
you should always tell me what you think.
Well, yeah, but I guess if I were you, it's like me taking my own medicine here.
Plus, anybody who's going to watch this video needs to know what you're going to tell me.
I believe that the best course of action in any business, any product, any offering, any service is to find out if your audience likes it. So you probably should take the time to build that product and get it out there.
Duh.
I know.
This is the dumb marketers.
I know. Well, sometimes it takes us a while to get to the right answer, but I don't know if that's the right answer. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, like, look, at the end of the day, you're trying to build a business. You need no money, no mission. You need to eventually start making money here.
Yep.
And if you go the content route, you're not going to make any for the next 2 years.
Yep.
Whereas at least if you get something out the door, you'll test and see if it starts working. It would suck to find that out 3 years from now.
Right.
As opposed to like within the next 6 months. And look, nobody may buy it, but at least you'll start to get some intel on if people are finding it, if they're checking it out, if they're, so you'd rather find out now than after you spent 2 years building out, after you spent anywhere from 600 to 800 hours building out all the content. But now here's where my Matchbox car theory comes into play, though. I'm not suggesting that you don't continue building out the content, but maybe just for the next 3 months, say, for example, you're only putting up one a week. And then you're working on the product. So you're still inching the 2 projects along, but maybe just not at the, I don't know. That's a workflow thing. That's a personal workflow thing, but.
Right. Here's Staggy. Let's just be full disclosure. I have been doing True Identity since Jan 1, 2020. Okay.
I remember.
It is 5 years old. Okay. Wow. It is 5 years old. And my annual gross revenue is about $150 to $250 a year. Mm-hmm. My costs are about $1,000.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm a business owner, but this is not a business. There is nobody in the business world who would say, Luke, press on with this idea because you got a winner here. That's not the case. Now,
well, not true. I'll give you one example of one where it did. Amazon.
Truth be told, all right, the original concept, which is still in play because I haven't changed it yet, was it was going to be apparel. I was going to be an e-com apparel driven. I added coffee mugs just because it made sense. But it was going to be a product
Yep.
e-com site.
Yep.
And it was going to give you some stuff to flaunt your character traits. That's what the vision was originally.
Sure,
just to motivate you and keep you reminding you you're confident, you're dynamic, you're optimistic, that has changed to, and I've had a few people that I've done it like a beta for, which was taking this information that I'm collecting from them, putting it in an informative and concise manner to let them know that based on what they've shared with me, these are the things that really make sense for your happiness, for your fulfillment in life, and for things for you to pursue that make sense. Mm-hmm. That is what I want this to be. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be the apparel. That's just going to be the swag on the side that you can wear while you're doing these cool things that I've outlined for you later in life.
Yep.
In the decisions that you're making, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't exist today. So I still have to build it. So everything that I've done for 5 years is just kind of sitting here in limbo.
Yeah.
Truly not a worthwhile business to continue to pursue. But this is why I'm trying to pivot.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to me to think that in the midst of needing to pivot and recognizing that I have said, Bob, I'm going to build 217 blog posts to support this idea, when I should be saying, Luke, you just changed the whole effing business. It's not even the same thing anymore.
Yeah.
If you're going this route, you need to plan that out. You need to figure out what that looks like and then test it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't yet, what the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So this is me talking to myself this week.
Yep.
So this is the harsh reality conversation that I've been having with myself, which is like, time out, man. You're killing yourself trying to figure out how to build this certain number of content, blog post quantity, and you don't even know if this concept that you are shifting to, this change that you're trying to make for the entire brand that you're trying to build, is going to even work.
Yep.
You don't even know that. You don't even know if somebody's willing to pay you money to do what you're trying to do.
Yep.
So, pumping the brakes. Going to have to take a little time to think about things over the weekend and figure out what the hell is the next step. Because I don't think what I'm doing today is truly what needs to happen. And it all stemmed from some asshole telling me that he made $1 million with 5 AI agents, and me thinking I am in the wrong business right now.
Well, so this is the problem sometimes with I get trapped in this all the time, where I watch something or read something and say, oh man, I'm doing this all wrong. But I also understand that I'm doing things the way that I want to do them, or am only capable of doing. That guy who's making $1 million a month and stuff, though, he probably doesn't have a full-time job. He probably took the time to grind.
No, he's got agents that do it for him.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
he's
like,
drinking Mai Tais on the beach, man.
Yeah, everybody's life is different. So, he might not be married, he might not have kids, he might, I mean, who knows how he built that.
I'm going to share the post with you, and you're going to be like, okay, I like what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I'm sure I'll absolutely love it. Everybody's situation is different. It's easy to get wrapped up into that influencer culture.
Yeah, right. Big time.
You know, that's what I'm trying to get at, I think, is like you're doing him aside. You just need to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Now, okay, so
Yeah,
that
but
being
that said, just to be clear, it caught my attention. It made
absolutely,
me think about things differently. I
yeah,
don't want to do what he's doing,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
definitely thought about I need to figure out this for
yeah,
me.
yeah. Sometimes it's a matter of hearing what you need to hear right when you need to hear it. And
Oftentimes, that's kind of what
yeah,
happens for me.
and you just started this project. You complete the first phase, which was getting all of the automated content into draft format and all that. Now you're entering phase two, where you're actually putting it up, and you just started. You've got what 4 or 5 pieces up out of 217 or whatever. Maybe
Just
now
want to
is
tell Google I'm not dead.
yeah, yeah, right. But maybe now is the time to hear that because maybe now is the time to pivot. Now
uh,
this is a deep transition into this. I'm just wondering.
yeah, please.
This is a whole nother topic, probably for a whole nother show, because this is the stuff that fascinates me. How do you figure out where you need to go?
Yeah,
Like a big part of me says you need to like have a serious focus day
big
on
time.
some random Saturday when your family leaves the house and you paid for them to go away for a while or something and stay at a hotel, and you like seriously do a focus day of where do I want to play and how am I going to
Mhm.
win?
Yep, exactly.
What am I trying to do and how the hell am I going to win at that?
Yep,
And who's my audience and what do they need and what do they want and actually building a 3-year plan.
yep. I already have it started. I just dropped it and did this content.
Yeah, it's like you need a focus or clarity day where you just really it probably is you probably just do need a roadmap to
You
see
know
what
what's weird? Maybe this has happened to you or somebody else who's watching this. What's really weird is I kind of built out that rough draft for the plan. Rough. Like I have titles for my sections. Okay.
yep.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Um, and I've fleshed out maybe the first couple target audience and that kind of thing, just based on the blog prompts that I had to build.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But after I put that out there, I got that put together. For some reason in my head, I convinced myself, yeah, this is going to work. This business will build. Yeah, I'm going to make millions.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not in a position to even come close to thinking that it can even make money,
Yeah.
much less millions.
Yeah.
But for
Well,
some reason, I was like just so over the moon happy that I had like these ideas and thoughts and
yeah.
products that I could see in play at some point
Yep.
that I could probably build myself, but none with proof of concept. Not one.
I think
And then I jumped from that to now I need to build a lot of content.
yeah. Yep.
Are there other crazy people out there that do this shit?
Oh my god! I was just gonna say that first thing you described that's called being human. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've thought, "Oh shit! How come I haven't done this earlier? This is gonna absolutely take off." I just went through this with that damn membership thing I'm working on.
Mm,
I immediately opened up a spreadsheet and started figuring out how do I get to $100,000 a year? How many does and like I haven't even sold a package yet.
yeah,
So I think that's human nature to like think like what you're gonna build is like
it's grandiose stuff.
yeah, it's grandiose. And then you sit down and you start building it. Then I flip way to the other side. Shit, I'm gonna build this and nobody's gonna buy it at all. And then what? That kind of thing. So I go on that roller coaster all the time. Um, But that's why it's so important to. There's so many things in here. One, just do the damn thing. Just that's what I told myself in April. Just fucking
Right.
do it.
Just
Just,
do it. Yep.
um,
Not gonna
number
know if they
two,
try, right?
yeah, yeah. Number two, you don't know what the heck people are going to gravitate to,
Right.
so just put it out there and see. And then the third one is like, yeah, just something simple. Get it out the door. Get a template out the door. Get a short 15-page ebook out the door. Get
Right.
anything out the door just to see and start building an audience, start building a list. Like,
Right.
yeah, I mean, oh boy, how many times have I been down this road? A lot.
I've had a few trips myself, but I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm also thinking now, I mean, I haven't talked to anybody about this. This is the first conversation I've had with anybody about this. So I'm glad we're breaking this down because it's making me think, why would I have chosen blog content? Why on earth would I have thought that that was the way to go? Well, you know what it was? I stare at my Google Analytics every day
Yeah. Yep.
and I'm getting crushed.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm at 25% of where I was a year ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was primarily organic traffic. So knowing that I have been decimated over the last year and a half as far as the traffic to my site, if I didn't do something, I would die on the vine. I would not exist.
I
So
think
I had to do
it's a couple
something.
of things. Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. One, yeah, you saw that there was like a 4 alarm fire there,
Big time.
and you wanted to try to fix it. The other route you could have taken with that is just like it is what it is. I'm going to keep building what I'm building, or I'm
Right.
going to, I'm going to keep going down. This is why discipline and following a roadmap is so important because then like you don't. My God, I have so many books to the right of me that talk about this very thing. That literally talk about staying disciplined, staying on the
Yeah.
path, product development, service development, whatever. Like, don't let the small thing get in the way. Keep going down the route you're going. Scenario planning, all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
The other reason I think you leaned towards the content, you're a content marketer.
What I know.
You're a content marketer. I mean, it'd be a totally
Yeah.
different story if you were a paid search marketer.
Yep.
You probably wouldn't have looked at it as you still would have saw that it was, but you would have gravitated towards. If you were a social media marketer, you would have said, "Well, that's right. I'm just going to double down on my social content."
Yep.
If you're a video marketer, you would have said, well, "I'm just going to make more videos since I'm not getting the organic traffic anymore. I'm going to double down on video."
Right.
But you're a content marketer. You've always been a content marketer.
Yep.
Um,
It was easy to justify.
yeah, it was totally easy, and it was like it was kind of like a comfort zone, a safe space for you to like. And you're also really smart about that, so you knew what to look for and what was breaking, and you kind of knew where to go fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like what I put together. I think it's all viable. I just
Absolutely,
don't think it's the right thing to be doing right now.
yeah. I mean, um,
And I'm going to continue to try to do something. It has to continue to be built, but it's not going to be to the extent that it has been because I just can't dedicate that much time to it. I have to build this plan out and I have to get a product tested to make sure that this concept is even viable.
and you have to be okay with being agile too during this because
Correct.
you may be 2 months into a product that you're making to get out the door, and you may have to pivot it for
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I tell people all the time that you have to be okay with chaotic. What's the motto? Plan for chaos.
Yep.
And if Jesus Christ, if COVID taught us anything,
Right.
it was that a lot of people, small businesses, medium-sized, but large businesses, were not ready
No.
for what happened. This is contingency
Right.
planning, plan for chaos, right? So, like, I would say the same thing for even just a one-man operation in his basement is be ready for anything and react quickly. I think the companies that well, this is very evident. The companies that hopped on, I'm just going to use COVID again as an example. When that happened, the companies that reacted real quick won.
Yeah.
This is a big dog example, but I think it's a good one. Zoom
Yeah.
was a perfect example of within a week after everybody
Right time, right place. Yep.
what they did was there's some great articles about this. They looked at their product roadmap and said, what do we move to the front immediately?
Yep.
We got to move some stuff to the front. Oh, actually, another winner in this game was Microsoft Teams. Teams was a mediocre product at the time and was horrible. And Microsoft said, holy shit, we own the workplace productivity suite.
Here's the opportunity. Yep.
And if we want to compete and everybody's working from home, we got to double down on Teams. Actually, they stopped developing a lot of the other tools and they shifted a ton of focus onto Teams. So same example for you. You may be 2 months in and who knows, something may drastically, some new AI tool might come in.
Yeah, right. Disrupt everything, right?
Yeah, pivot quick. As long as you can pivot quick. And that is the benefit that you do have as a solo guy, even though you don't have a ton of time, you don't have a ton of resources, you don't have funds, you don't have a staff. It sounds really dire, doesn't it?
No, you don't have anything.
No, you have nothing. You have nothing. You don't even have respect for yourself anymore. You have no pride. You have nothing. Okay. You can pivot really quick.
But you sure can pivot.
Yeah, you sure can pivot. Yeah, I made it sound like you absolutely have nothing. Nobody loves you anymore.
Oh, good.
Everybody hates you.
So true. It's true.
But you can pivot quick.
Yep, absolutely.
But boy, I tell you, there's still one thing. I don't know. Maybe tell me if I'm wrong. I know I don't have this, so I feel like I'm only going to speak for myself here. I'm not going to speak for you. I'm not going to speak for you. I'm just going to speak for myself. I don't have an operating plan. I don't have a roadmap. I am literally winging things every day. And I think that's bad. And if you want to run this like a real business and not a hobby and not just something that you're going to toy around with at night or on the weekends, you really do need to have a flipping plan. And you got to have a roadmap of where you're going and what you're building. If you don't, then you're just going to flounder. And like, I'll give you a perfect example. Bro.
This is the best conversation.
Mid-April. I wake up mid-April. It was like April 21st or something. I can't remember. I have written down what day it was. Some random day in mid-April, I wake up one day. I'm like, I'm going to start building a membership program. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's good. You did, and it was outstanding. What you showed me was really incredible.
That's not how this works. That's not how this works. This is not how this works. There should have been an ideation stage and time to think through it.
Well, hold on. You did that during 5 weeks of time, didn't you?
Yeah, but I was building the plane when it was in the air.
And you still went through the process.
Yeah, and
parallel path, you still went through it.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't you?
Yes or no? I mean, yes or no?
Yeah, but it was very much on the fly. Like it was literally like blinking cursor on the page. And I'm coming up with what I want in the moment. Like that's not right. That's not sustainable. What I should have done is I should have grabbed some whiteboard time. I should have diagrammed it out. I should have laid it all. Instead, I was literally building the page, building the membership paywall page on the fly. Yeah. Like literally on the fly. Like what the hell? Like, I don't know. Just part of me says that's not what me and you have worked for big companies. We've worked for small companies. Small companies are notorious for this too. I mean, how many times have we hauled into someone's office? Hey, we're going to do this now. It's like, where the hell did that come from? Yeah, but I don't. But you know what though? I don't.
That's not always a bad thing though.
It's not. But when I look up to when I look up to what I want my business to be, I look at the big dogs.
Yeah.
I look at the big successful companies and I say, how'd they get there? They got there through discipline. They got there through rigor. They got there through process, And I look at companies like Amazon.
They knew who they were, they know what they did, and they knew how to do it. They had everything built out to do that thing.
It's like I've tried doing and I still do to a certain extent, do like quarterly reviews. And right now I'm following this, 13-week quarter cadence, and I still am following that. And, but like Amazon, there's literally books, huge articles, white ebooks written about Amazon's quarterly business review process. Like they have a whole documented process on how they review their entire business and what they're doing and where they're going and what they're focused on. And it's like they practice that over and over. That's how they get better and better and better. And all those big companies have done stuff like that. And it's like they have legit product funnels and roadmaps, and they have 3-year plans and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know, I like that kind of stuff. It's the discipline and the actual well, look, we're sports fans. Football, you don't go into a football game without a plan. If you're a head coach, you scout the opposition, you change your plays, you get ready, you watch film, you do all that stuff, and then you go out on the field. What I did with the membership thing was the equivalent of not having any idea who I was even playing. I just went on the field and started building stuff. That's not good. That's
try this one.
Yeah, exactly. Will it work? Yeah, it might. It's probably going to be painful. I'm going to have to work some things and whatever. But it probably would have been good if I would have at least gone in with a bare minimum idea of this is what it looks like at the end. I had no idea what the end looked like, and I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good.
I have made several attempts to flesh out what I want this to be. I have not put it in a formal plan. I have started numerous times. I am going to finish the effing plan.
Sure.
I have to get it done. Now, if you remember when we were talking about this, that was one of my goals. Unfortunately, it was to be by the end of May that I got that done. Well, that gives me a week.
Right.
So guess what I'm going to be reprioritizing for the next 7 days?
Yep.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
I have too many questions that I'm asking myself, and that shouldn't be happening.
Yep. Right. Yep.
I shouldn't even be thinking about what it is that I'm trying to do. I should be just doing it. But I'm asking too many questions right now.
Yep.
That's a problem.
And and then you get into this habitual cycle of constantly asking yourself questions.
Yep. And it's just bogging me down. It's getting in the way. I'm not clear as to where I want to go, and I'm not executing the way that I should be.
See, and that goes back to my whole plan thing. It's like if you have a plan laid out and you feel really good about it, you should see it all the way through.
Right.
And this is why I love the idea of only working in quarters and not looking at the whole year, because I still think you have to be agile to move things around. But really, if you start a project this quarter, you should see it through. As long as you planned it and you feel good about it, you could second guess yourself every day and twice on Sundays.
Yeah.
But you really shouldn't. You should say, I thought this through. I put a good plan in place that I think is good. And unless something super drastic happens in the world, I should see this through for the next 13 weeks.
See, to me, the big wild card is AI, which is why I am thinking about things so differently these days. But set that aside. The bigger problem for me is I don't have a plan that is answering all these questions for me. So I digress. Thank you.
I just have one more thing to say.
You going to go somewhere?
No. Are you going somewhere?
Well, I was going to sign off, but you tell me what you got going.
Okay, well, I got one more thing to say, and then we'll go because
Is it on this topic or is it a new one?
it's on this topic.
Okay.
It's like
Bring us home, Bob.
well, this isn't anything earthly profound. It's the old adage of who was it? Abraham Lincoln that said something like instead of taking an hour to chop down a tree, I'd rather spend 50 minutes sharpening my saw and 10 minutes cutting the tree down. Like
I don't know who said that, but yes.
yeah, it was something like that. But here's where I'm going with this. It would be super smart if we spent more time up front thinking through and planning.
Yep.
So that your execution is just literally you putting your headphones on and just doing it.
Yep.
And not having any more questions in your head.
Yep.
And that's what I had with the membership thing. As I was building it out, I was asking myself constant questions along the way. It would have been nice. How many times have we talked about I'm going to give someone like in IT a plan. Just do the plan. Here, I've already thought it through. It's all done. It's all ready to go. I just need you to build it.
Yep.
Don't question it. You don't need it. Is there all the questions have already been answered?
Yep.
And the developer just sits down and just bangs it out, right? It's like you almost have to treat yourself like that. Like, okay, I'm delivering myself the plan. Just execute the plan. No questions. Put your headphones on, listen to your favorite music, and just do it. Because all the questions have been answered already.
Yep.
I don't know. Just a thought. Closing thought is maybe there's room for more upfront work that takes out the questions. Wow.
I think there's always going to be wild cards.
Yeah.
Always. There are always going to be unforeseen things that are going to change your world.
Yep.
Whether it's personal or business.
Yep.
One of the biggest things you can do to help lessen the impact of those is to have a plan, have a vision, understand where it is you're trying to go, and break it down into parts that you can actually digest so you're not overwhelmed. And that's what I haven't done yet. I came up with a part of the plan, which was blog content production.
Yep.
That is not my business plan.
Yep.
I need a business plan fleshed out that will include blog production.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
not all is lost. It is just a big, gigantic pivot to prioritization that needs to happen, which is the upfront development of a plan that's going to give me the guidance and direction necessary in order to execute efficiently.
And back when you launched your business in early 2000, I know it's focused on merch, but you had a legit business plan. I saw it.
Yeah, because I knew that I needed to flesh it out in order to understand where I wanted to go. And like I said, I've had several iterations of dumping my brain into a file so I knew where I wanted to go, but it's not formalized. It's not fleshed out to the point to where I can execute. It's still fluffy.
Yep, for sure.
So.
Okay, great. Whew, that was a good one. I like it. I suppose we should sign off because it's bedtime.
TrueMyIdentity.com.
TrueMyIdentity.com. Go check it out. You never know.
Coming.
It could change every day. Who knows? What you see today might not be there tomorrow.
That's right.
Luke is moving just that fast.
Yeah, right.
You never know. So yeah, TrueMyIdentity.com for sure. Check that out without a doubt. BobStanky.com if you want to check out what I'm working on.
If you've made it to the end of this video, thanks for sticking it out with us. I hope it was a discussion that actually resonates with you. And if it does, share the comments, please.
Yeah, it is real. And people are watching these videos and we appreciate it. And we're 13 in, so that's fun. And I got nothing else other than subscribe. We picked up subscribers. We've picked up views. We're growing, man. We're on our way. So
We're going to
drop
continue
the
to do it.
Yep, drop the support. We appreciate
Good,
it.
bad, and ugly. That's what we do.
Yep, and we are
all on the
still
dumb side.
we are still waiting for callbacks on sponsorships from Gumloop, RC Cola. I can't remember who else is on the list. So again, shout out to them. Please let us know how you can sponsor the show. We would love to hear it.
By the way, my A&W was delicious.
Oh, I love A&W.
Can we reach out to them too, please?
Okay. And actually, I think A&W is owned by RC Cola, isn't it?
I don't know. If it is, then we've got to double up on our videos.
I love it. I love it so much. Okay, that's it. Peace out.
Love you, bro.
See ya.
Bye.